So, a very, very long time ago, when I was originally covering Ferociously Steph, she said that she was gonna put out her conversation on voice chat sometimes later, and I said that great, when she puts that out, I'm gonna refute that as a separate video. So, here I am, doing just that. It has been quite a while, but there were other things a bit more important than Ferociously Steph that were happening. So, me coming back here is mostly just because I really don't like having unfinished things, and this is an unfinished thing as far as I am concerned. Voice chat is unfair, and here's why. Logic, consequences, what to do, frequently asked questions. Logic. Voice chat is important. In team games, voice chat communication is often critical to competitive success. This is because it has the highest data density for exchanging tactical information. Using this communication band well can often mean the difference between winning and losing. True. Many people have voices that they get made fun of or face harassment for. If you sound feminine or have speech impediment or an accent, essentially any voice chat is an outlier with subject you to varying levels of disproportionate judgment over time in pickup groups. I actually wanted to go out and record a tiny bit of me playing Rainbow Six Siege and just saying hi, hello, at the start of the rounds to see what happens, but then I realized that I don't want to invest this much effort into a video like this when she invested this little effort into her Twitter string. So I'm just gonna say like this. I obviously have an accent. I sound feminine, or at least I hope I sound feminine, because some people are like, you're a boy, to me when they see me, and that's like really weird, like, dude, what? So I either sound like a 12-year-old boy or I sound like a female. It's up to you to pick. And despite of that, I rarely, if never, get like actual people picking on me during gameplay in any video games. Normally, if people want to play competitive, they will not have time to pick on your voice, because that is just an odd thing to do and kind of counterproductive, considering that you want to like focus on winning. And I've heard a lot of voices as well. In casual matches, I have heard people that sounded like kids. I have heard people that sounded like they're from the Middle East. I play with a Polish guy that sounds Polish. No reactions normally, like not at all. And if you do have one person that actually has a reaction and reacts, then normally you just vote kick and that kick goes through. If for some reason it wouldn't, that would probably mean that they're playing with friends or something. You can mute. You can definitely mute, and you should 100% report that. That's what those systems are for. Speaking mental energy and defending against your abusers is a disadvantage, so it's not talking, so it's muting anyone. There's also unquantifiable disadvantages where there is harassment. There's also people who respect you and your calls less but won't say so. Quiet bias. Once again, if you're playing with a group of friends and hence why vote to kick a member on your team does not go through, you likely will not have a good time with that match, because that is just the cards that the game has dealt you. I would definitely recommend reporting any sort of behavior like this. I have had a few times when you could clearly hear that it's just a kid just trying to troll, but they would also do it differently. They would not necessarily just troll in voice chat, because people would just mute. They would try to steal like ammo. They would try to destroy ally help in video games. If trolls want to troll, they will find a way. At that point, it's best to leave the match and rematch again. Nothing to do with voice chat, everybody gets trolled. I subjectively, opinion, believe that voice chat on the cultural biases against minorities, voices it reveals, is a large reason why there is lacking in diversity highest level play in team games, especially when compared to single-player competitive titles. I can give you a different viewpoint. How about games that lack diversity up on the high rank lack diversity down on the low rank? AKA, that kind of demographic is just not very interested. You don't see a lot of women that are into beat 'em ups. I don't think that super a lot of women are into strategy games, but there's far more women into strategy games than beat 'em ups. Some games attract disproportionately player of color community. Some games do not attract almost any of that, and that is perfectly fine. I didn't see a correlation between voice chat in games and that happening, honestly. But you did say that it is your personal opinion. You're free to have that, but personally, I cannot verify your point of view. What to do? Raising awareness is helpful in itself. Call out harassment. Don't let it slide. It may not feel like often to you, but each individual is 100% of their games. Many minority voices can point to the experience that made them decide playing wasn't worth it. I am not one of those voices. I do not know who many is or what games they were on. I know that some games have worse communities than others, but I am yet to run into a game that's bad. Like, and once again, non-minority voices also have harassment. It's not limited to minority voices. It's shitty people doing the harassment. You saying, "Stop harassing my friend," will not actually do much online except make it worse, if anything. Muting, kicking, blocking, reporting said person doing said harassment will do a lot more good in the long run, trust me. Adding robust ping systems and prefab voice lands are an excellent way to make the games more fair. The easier you can communicate as mute, the better to hear. The goal is to increase data density of non-voice options. Proper moderation functions are essential too. I know that Smite has a callout system of you can type in some letters and it will be like enemy left lane, enemy right lane, defend the giant, defend the phoenix, that sort of thing. You can also ping the map. A lot of people will start frequently pinging when they're pissed off with something. They will just ping non-stop. Good job became a way to mock other people. Like, if you hate what one person just did or you died and you're feeling particularly sour, just spam good job, good job, good job. Once again, people have found ways to troll with these kind of systems. I wouldn't mind these kind of systems being in more games. Honestly, they don't disturb me. It's kind of fun. Plus, to get to sell the voice packs for the shoutouts. Ooh, how amazing, how exciting. But it's not a replacement for voice chat, and it will never be. It's not a replacement for voice chat in the casual matches, so trust you me, it's not a replacement for voice chat in the high-level matches either. You just cannot convey the same amount of information without voice chat, no matter what you do. Taking it away from everyone is just screwing your own game, so don't know that doing that wouldn't help anything. I do have quite the admiration for groups that have gotten put together from just deaf people or just people that can't speak and so on and so forth. They do full-on type communication. I believe there's one raid group in World of Warcraft that is made out of just deaf people, and they will tell you it is hard. It is hard because you have to talk about the whole of the encounter before the encounter even starts, as the most you can do is type a few letters of left, right, ball, that sort of thing, because you are busy playing the game. With voice, it's a completely different story and completely different environment, really. So, yes, you can play without voice, but playing without voice is hard, and there is no reason to subject other people to that hardness just to make the playing field more even if I do respect people that are deaf or that cannot speak. Going and doing that with their groups, it's more to them. I think that it's amazing. Continue doing what you do. But no, that is not the kind of experience that I want to have in every single game of mine. In fact, it would really, really piss me off because... Now, let's give you an example. Final Fantasy XIV's PvP. Never had voice. shut down its typing chat even due to the common toxicity. I am gonna switch off noise gate right now because I have a feeling that my cat currently is trying to actively sabotage my video. I had to go away and move him from my husband's keyboard as he was trying to play Doom. And he was having right of a seizure with it, considering that he was exiting and entering main menu at like 100 miles per second. So if I no longer remember my train of thought, I am very sorry about that. Clarification. I think voice chat is unfair to the point that games would be most fair without it. I do not want to take away voice chat from your favorite game. I wouldn't if I had the power to. These two are like opposite statements. You think that voice chat is so unfair that you wish games wouldn't have it, but you're not trying to take away our voice chat, which just... Then what are you doing? What are you trying to make sure that other games don't get voice chat? Because I hate to break it to you, but a lot of people use external programs to do the voice if there is no voice chat in game. So it's not like you will have an advantage because of it, or it will become more fair. If anything, it would be easier for you to mute/block a few people than for you to know that somebody on the enemy team that you're playing against has communication and you completely don't, or two members of your team are communicating and working together while three of you are not. Implementing it to an already diverse established game is more difficult question. Let me answer to you, developers. Should do it. Just do it. Do it! I would meme in here, but I have a feeling that that might get copyrighted too. Oh yes, I remembered my string of thought. Yes, Final Fantasy XIV's PvP never had voice chat, and it got so toxic that they actually switched off typing chat. Now everyone is a headless chicken. You have some pre-made commands to call specific things out in the chat, and that is all, and that is highly, highly not helpful, despite what others would say. As I said, those pre-made commands don't absolutely make sure that you can convey accurate information. Like, if there's two scholars on your team, let's say both of your healers somehow ended up being scholars because there's only 3 healers, you would have like 2 healers on an 8-man team. Trying to say scholar to the right is a bit difficult because you would send both of them to the right, especially when your more specific question would be scholar in the middle. You're about to get ruffle stomped. What are you doing? Run to your right. Run to your team. Run to your team right now. Saying that, very easy, and typing, you would probably type something rather aggressively that's a bit shorter. Like, the hell are you doing in the middle? You know? But having no communication whatsoever outside of those, pings and pre-made messages, that made it quite complicated, and that was one change that I wasn't on board with at all when that was happening. Whoa, my microphone is sensitive. I am so sorry if I am too loud. Frequently asked questions. What if we all used voice mods? It's a possible solution, but I don't like it very much. Puts responsibility on the harass to hide pass as a standard voice. Also, modulation usually makes voices harder to understand, not easier. Well, I am very, very sorry, Missy. You are assuming that everyone of Category X will be harassed or is being bothered over their voice. I am not. I get some weird comments on YouTube from time to time, but that is about as far as it goes. So, yeah, I wouldn't want a voice modulation software forced on me. If we all sounded like Microsoft Sam, though, I would find it absolutely hilarious, and that might even be an advertisement campaign for your game. Like, you talk, and nothing but Microsoft Sam comes out, and you can select different Microsoft Sam's pitches, you know, kind of like you select different colors on your hero, or something like that. That would be absolutely hilarious, at the very least for a meme. At the very least for a meme. But yes, if you are having such a big problem, why don't you use these services that are available to you? Isn't this a cultural problem and not a game mechanics issue? Yes and no. You don't fix systemic bias overnight. By better protecting minority gamers from the biases, I believe we'll see more diversity in the highest levels of play, which would help change minds. No, by hiding all the voices entirely of diverse players, you make sure that the consensus stays that there are no diverse players in the game, for they are never heard. Everyone will just assume that you are not a diverse player. That is not necessarily a bad thing. Like, a lot of the assumptions behind people in MMOs is that everybody playing a female character is actually a dude. Doesn't actually bother me, because at most you will be like, whoa, you're a chick, and you will be like, yeah, and they're like, oh cool, I thought that you were a dude. I was like, no, I'm a chick, and that's about where it ends. It normally doesn't go any further than that, and games that have women more commonly, you don't even get like, whoa, you're a chick, you just get, hi. 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 It's like completely normal in a lot of sectors. Absolutely completely normal. And that's what you get for normalizing it. The more you normalize it, the more normal it is. The more you try to silence everybody by shushing them and making sure that nobody ever hears their voice, the more the assumption will be that, just another man. Just another man. Nothing special there. Everyone faces harassment, get over it. Thumbs up to whoever said that, because everybody does face harassment. Please get over yourself. You don't know the experience of other people. It's not equal for everyone. Just mute. Read the thread. I did, and I provided commentary on every single bit of it. Thank you for reading. This conversation is extra important to me because so many people denied there being a problem at all, while for others the issue is a truth of their existence. Take care. And there it was. I don't think that I have anything else to add to it. I know that the whole Ferociously Steph thing is like so last Friday, because that's what happens. That's what happens. There's like an outrage about something, and then over time it dies down. But hey, I did legitimately wanted to come back to this. I said that I was gonna come back to this. I don't much care if it doesn't really receive a lot of clicks. I hope I made my stance on these things pretty clear. And I hope that you like my content. If you do, you can go and watch my other videos. Leave me some comments or likes. I always like comments and likes. I respond to a lot of comments. At the very least, I read all of them. If you do like my content though, please subscribe. That is the number that keeps like my happiness up. That's like Murta happy button. It's effectively Murta happy button. And I hope that I will get to see you in my other videos. I tend to mostly try and focus on video games as much as possible. I've gotten into a few controversial themes recently, but I try to stay clear of things that are not video gamey. Sometimes on my Twitter I will say things about things that are not video gamey, but for my channel this is first and foremost channel about video games and video game culture, which includes video games journalism and so on and so forth. This is what we center our existence about. So thank you for watching, and I hope I'll gonna see you next time. Toodaloo.